Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie and today we're going to be talking about all of the books that I read in March. So I've got quite a good stack here. I read 11 books and 2 short stories. I don't know if you really count short stories or novellas as a book. So did read a few of those though, which was nice this month. It's crazy that's already April. My birthday is April 4th, so it is like coming up like super fast. I felt like March flew by, but I did read quite a few books, so let's get straight into them. I want to start with the 3 books that I read by Hailey Gardiner. These are all parts of like a series, so we have, some connected characters here with these books. So she actually passed away in February while she was pregnant with her 3rd child. So she left behind her husband and her 2 kids. She was a Christian, and all of her romances are just sweet. They're no spice. So I knew that I wanted to support her family, so I did buy all of her books, and I got a chance to read 3 of them in March. And then also her books are on Kindle Unlimited. I'll link them down below, but I definitely would recommend checking out this author. So the first one that I read was The Retreat. This one, at the very beginning of it, I wasn't too big of a fan. Honestly, I think it was just like the southernness of it. I don't know. Like, I live in Tennessee, so I feel like that should be a book that I absolutely love, but I don't know. I feel like the southernness of it, like, I prefer books set elsewhere. But it was kind of cool that like where they were was so close to where that I live, which was nice. A lot of this was taking place in Asheville, North Carolina, which is a little bit over an hour from me. So that was kind of interesting with it. So we're getting Lainey and Luke's perspective. Kind of have like a little bit of like an enemies to lovers with this one, which was kind of nice. You get a lot of banter in this book. Definitely recommend it. And then the second book in the series is The Makeup. So Luke from the first book, he is a twin. So his twin brother is our male main character in the second book. So we are following Chloe and Hunter in book number 2, The Makeup. So would also highly recommend this one. This one's probably my favorite book out of 3 of them from this little series. So I loved this book so much. It was so cute. And then the last one is The Duet. So we are following our main character, Ella May, which is one of Lainey's best friends. So we're seeing characters from all 3 books kind of tie in together. And then I cannot wait to read the other 2 books that I have by her as well. My March book of the month was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. So this is the first book that I've read by her, but I did buy another book from her since then because I liked this one. It has a very like eerie feeling to it. So we're following our main character, Rowan. She washes up on this island, and that's where Dominic and his 3 kids live. And so they basically take care of the island. There is a bunch of seeds on the island that they take care of. And so whenever she gets there, that family is the only people there. Everyone else, all the scientists, everyone has left, which is really weird to her. She just keeps discovering different things. And like Dominic feels like she's hiding stuff from him. So it's very like eerie of a story, but I really enjoyed it. I cried at the end. The ending of it definitely got me, but I would highly recommend this story, especially if you're into plants. We have a lot of different like descriptions of the plants that are on this island and everything. So if you are really into that kind of stuff, I would highly recommend this book. Also read Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharin. This one I loved. This book was just absolutely incredible. It is part of a series, so I'm hoping to read the other 2 books in the series in April. But it was awesome. It was great. And I love it so much. We're following a witch and a witch hunter. So we have like enemies to lovers, like marriage of convenience type of thing. Highly recommend this book. It has magic in it. It's got that little bit of like romance in it. It is a YA, so you don't have to worry about like a bunch of spice or anything like that in this book. And I would highly recommend it. Also finished the Cruel Prince series. So this is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. It is the last book in the series. I love this book so much. I love the way that it ended. I was definitely nervous because the last book, like, we ended on a very big, like, crazy twist. So this one, I love our main character, Jude. I love how much she has changed and grown since the very first book. I feel like that she is just so, like, just take charge. She knows, like, what to do in all these different situations. She is just amazing and so strong. Love, love, love her in this. And then also the little bit of romance that we get in this one. So would highly recommend the series if you haven't read it already. I also read The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This book is considered horror, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, just because I'm not really into those types of books. I don't love super scary stuff, but I ended up really, really loving this book. So we're following our main character, Patricia. This is set in the 90s, and she's part of a book club. We're just kind of seeing her go through her life, and things aren't really going that great for her. Then this guy moves into town. His name is James Harris, and once that he moves into town, a lot of things start to kind of like start looking up. But then there's also some really weird things going on. There's different kids going missing and just different things that don't really add up. And so she starts to get like a bad feeling about certain things, but just I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to like spoil the book for you, but I really like it. I like how that they portrayed the vampire in this. I think it was a really, really awesome book. Definitely, I was not expecting some of like the twist and also thought some things would happen a lot sooner than they did, but I still really, really love this book and I would highly recommend it. I also read Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This book is a mystery and it's also like a very like funny mystery. So basically our main character, we are reading it as if he's the one writing the book. So like our main character decided he's going to write a book about his family and everything that's happened to him. So we're getting kind of like his little interjections in there and different parts and like, oh, my, publisher told me not to write this in here, just different stuff like that. Like, I feel like it's very personable. They end up going on a family vacation to a ski resort, and his brother, who is about to get out of prison, is going to be coming up there to meet him. And while they're at the ski resort, someone ends up getting killed, and they feel like that someone is possibly after their family. And our main character, like, he kind of doesn't know who to trust. We're trying to figure out this mystery together. There's a bunch of different twists and turns, and it's very captivating, but also lots of humor in it. So I really liked this book. I also read The Dollargut Dream Department Store by Mai Lee, and so this is a #1 Korean bestseller book. It was a very interesting concept. So it's basically like in your dreams, your subconscious is going to a dream store and purchasing whatever that you're dreaming about. And so our main character that we are following, she works at the dream store, and they were also kind of seeing little glimpses of people, lives and like their dreams and how their dreams are affecting their life. So I felt like it was a really, really cool concept. I didn't love this book. I loved the idea of it, but I just wasn't like a huge, huge fan of this book. But it is a pretty light read, so I liked the concept of it, but just not really my favorite. Then the next two books that I read are from the Dollar Tree, actually. So these are going to be in my reading books from the Dollar Tree video whenever I do get that posted. So I read For Twice in My Life by Annette Christie. This one is like a second chance romance. So we're following Layla, and her boyfriend breaks up with her, but then he ends up getting in an accident. He has kind of like amnesia, and he forgot the last couple weeks of his life. So he forgot that he broke up with Layla, so she kind of just goes along as if they never broken up, and she just kind of sees that as her second chance to be with him. And we're also following a lot of like her, what she wants to do in life. Just, I really enjoyed this book. A very light read, nothing like too crazy happening in it, but it was a good book. Then I read The Reunion by Kayla Olson. This one, we are following our main character, Liv. And so she was the main character in a very popular series whenever she was a teenager. And her love interest on the show also was her best friend in real life. His name was Ransom. But then, like, as the show ended, they basically decided that, it was best if that they quit hanging out so much, quit being friends so much. And so now they are doing a reboot, just like a one episode thing all these years later to show where the characters are. So now she's going to be seeing Ransom again, and she has feelings for him. So we're seeing very like slow build up romance in this, but we're also just following Liv, and she's kind of figuring out what she wants for her life. And I really enjoyed this book. It's not too big of a book either, so it's a pretty easy read. Then the novella that I read this month was Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. This is the first thing I've ever read by Ali Hazelwood, but I really liked it, so I can see why she's such a popular author, and I can't wait to read more stuff by her. I really liked it. It was kind of like an enemies to lovers type of thing. So we're following our main character. She's an environmentalist engineer, and she ends up moving into a house with a big oil lawyer. So, they're complete separate sides of things. Does not like him at all. He's not happy that she's living there. And we're just kind of seeing that. And, it's not too long, so we're not going too in depth with our characters, but I still really enjoyed this. The last book that I read was a short story on Kindle Unlimited called The Walrus by Abby Jimenez. I believe I'm saying that right. So we're following our two main characters. So basically what happens is they live on the second story of an apartment building, and by accident the stairs leading up to their apartments are tore down. And so the two of them decide we don't really want to stay in a hotel, so we're both just going to stay in our apartments. And they're the only two there, so they start, kind of hanging out some. And then she is very like closed off. She has a stalker, so she's, been on very like high alert, on edge for a while in her life. So she's very hesitant to spend time with him or open up to him. So we're just kind of seeing a romance blossom between them and also between their best friends, which was really sweet. And then we're also just kind of seeing her really stand up for herself and stop being so afraid in her life, which was really nice. So I'd highly recommend that one if you're looking for a sweet short story, but also just, some really powerful women as your main characters in it. So I'd highly recommend that one. Thank you so much for sticking around for all of the books that I read in March, and I hope that you'll subscribe so you don't miss the books that I read for the rest of this year. I do a recap every single month of the books that I've read, and I have some other really exciting videos coming up soon. So I hope that you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.